Yo, yo.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Another day, another dollar.
Yeah, we are at episode 12.
Oh, that's what we on?
Yep. Dozens.
All right, these episodes seem to be flying by pretty good now. Where we kind of got into a little rhythm into putting these things out. So I think it's all coming together, more or less.
It's like Tetris, man. You just got to figure out the pieces and, you just apply it and make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That sounds good.
You know what I'm saying? But how's the week been?
The week's been the week, bro. You know, just dealing with shit like everybody else. I got a renovation going on in my crib, so it's a mess. Got walls open. My whole bathroom is pretty much a gut job.
Walls and guts. But that's renovation for real, though.
Yeah, so it's pretty much a whole gut job. You know, dealing with contractors and workers, and it just seems like even though when you get an estimate or a budget to do stuff, you're never under budget. Don't ever think that you'd be able to finagle your way to be under budget. That almost never happens. Only way that happens is if you get free shit. And even when you get free shit, the universe works itself out to where you have to pay for something else that you didn't have to pay for before. Like, oh shit, you're going to go change the tiles and then the subfloor's fucked up. Or you got mold, or something's cracked and that has to be replaced, or it's a lot of shit. I don't suggest anybody do it. You know what I mean? You know, like HGTV and all these shows will tell you, fixer-uppers and this, that, and the third. Like, fixer-uppers are cool, but god damn it, it's a lot of work, man. Like, get some. I suggest you get a whole brand new house that's custom built, so you don't have to worry about remodeling for like 10 to 15 years.
So you're saying it's a lot harder than a used car?
Oh yeah, it's a lot harder than it looks on TV for sure.
Oh yeah, there's commercial breaks. There's a whole lot of city clearances and things like that. Permits that you got to get done. And I mean, it is a tough thing. You do have to find the right contractor. You have to find the right timing. Certain things could be done in certain seasons of the year, right? So it is a bad math equation that people got to deal with, but it is tough. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, just watching it from kind of the sidelines right now, this definitely looks like a hell of a challenge. What you talking about? Just the renovations.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just in general. You know what I'm saying?
And then it's like any little thing goes wrong, bro. It's like you're having angina. Like, you're about to have a heart attack. Like, fuck. Anytime the contractor wants to talk to you about something, you just see dollar signs. It's just like, god damn it.
I believe it because there's just so much that goes into it.
Oh yeah, a lot of shit. Just fucking light switches, bro. I done bought and returned about 4 different packs of light switches just to make sure I get the right one. Like, and these ain't no like just regular flip on light switches. These are like the Wi-Fi joints that are like glass that connect to like smart lights if you have them shits in your crib. So like you got to make sure shit's running on the same system and that it's like Google compatible or whatever the case may be. So it's a lot. I swear I have like maybe close to like $1,000 just in the air between purchasing and returns that haven't hit my account yet. You know what I mean? Like purchasing stuff, returning it.
A lot of
having to buy other stuff. Man.
A lot of 7 business days later.
Yeah. And because I got an Amazon business account, they won't just put it back on your account instantly. It has to go right back to your card. So there's that.
I mean, I don't know how much that you purchase, but I've gotten that before. I don't know when they've changed that, but I've definitely gotten that before where I've needed to get that same item. I'm just like, you know what, just leave it on like a credit system or whatever.
Yeah, nah, they said because my account's a business account, it won't do that shit.
You know what? I think I've done that before. I've started using a business account. So, to be fair, yeah, you're right. You're right on that.
Shit just definitely ain't convenient. Shit's rough. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I wish I didn't have to do it. I wouldn't suggest anybody do it. But, like, I know everybody wants to upgrade their stuff. I had a flood. So, it's like I'm kind of under the gun also. Like, I had to sue my insurance company to get a little bit of money. And then I still have to put in more money on top of it. And then, like, because I got money from the insurance, I have to get everything done within a certain amount of time. Or they'll drop you. And, like, in this fucked up state, like, it ain't easy to get homeowners insurance. It's not. It's pretty much a moratorium on getting insurance. Like, it's almost impossible.
No, I can see that. I mean, with everything going on the weather, that you have, like, tornadoes, hurricanes that can happen, lots of water that always hits the roof. It's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, that's why. That's why, because niggas in Florida gonna try to fraud something. That's
exactly my point.
That's just the game. So, because of that, it makes it hard. It makes it super hard to get, like, regular insurance, just because they just think everybody's just trying to fraud them.
Yeah. The regular insurance right now is like just a tough thing to even deal with, because the way insurance is right now,
insurance is just fucked up all across the board. There's like class action lawsuits going on in the state of Florida against insurance, because for the most part, it's like insurance companies run the state.
Yeah, but that's also like credit and insurance, right? Both of those things have been like walking on glass. You really can't get anything done besides bleed yourself dry, really, when you really think about it, right? Because credit, if you really want to take out a loan, they're really being hard on everybody, right?
Yeah.
And then the same thing with, like what we're dealing with now. Like, if you want anything done with insurance,
you got to sue them.
You got to sue them. You got to...
Yeah, because they ain't trying to give you no money. And then if they do give you money, they're not going to give you how much money you need.
Exactly. And
so it's like...
And they're still one of the highest grossing business ever. But
it's like a double-edged sword. Yeah, I mean, the whole concept of insurance in itself is fuckery. You're going to be paying for something for your whole life, and you better not use it. Because if you use it, we're going to raise the price and then just cut you off. So the whole concept of insurance is just wild.
And then the states that are in bed with those insurance to make you like use them. I mean, obviously, I do think there needs to be car insurances, but you know what I'm saying. But other insurance, I feel like that's on the owner. That's just my opinion. Whatever the business may be, if it's like, obviously you're supposed to have like health insurance, things like that, but like if it's like, I don't know, if you don't have any like insurance for like disasters, things like that, that's kind of on the owner, right?
Yeah, but even still, like with those disaster insurances, like they're not, you better not use that shit.
Oh no,
like,
yeah,
period.
Yeah. Pay me and don't use it. That's what it is. That's all it is.
If you use it, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, that's all.
But give me my money, and we gonna set this up to make it to where you guys have to pay us to even just to live. You know what I mean? Like just to be a regular person, you're gonna have to pay us monthly, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, man, like trust me, when bills are in your name, shit's a little different. You know what I mean? Just in general. That's when shit becomes real.
I believe that. I believe that all day. It just gets tougher and tougher. They say, what, more money, more problems? So you're going to get more bills after you get more money, right?
Yeah. Essentially how it goes.
So you get more money,
essentially
more
how
bills.
It goes, man.
And then the bills take your money, and then you're going to have more problems to deal with because you got to pay them bills. And bills is nonstop depending on what you buy.
Yeah. But shit. What about you, fam?
No.
Anything positive? Anything good? Like,
as far as national news and all that?
no, I'm just saying in general, not even news.
Just personally, just been like doing a little bit more filming and things like that. Got to check out like one of the Homeland guys, Trapland Pat, recently. His music's pretty good. I got to check out his stuff. He had a whole...
you were at the release party, right?
Yeah, the release party.
Was it a tape or a song?
I want to say it was a tape, and he's with Alamo Records.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good, man. I want to say it's called... Is it... Let me make sure I say this right. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to misquote anything. So let's make sure I say the tape right. You know what I'm saying? Trapnificent. Yeah, and he's got a track with Fredo Bang, and
that's funny. That reminds me of the Thugnificent.
No, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the play off of it. That's why
that's hilarious.
That's why I said, let me make sure I say this right. I didn't want to go off and just say anything. You know what
today's episode, before I finish, is brought to you by Tequila and Percocets. Just to throw that in there.
Minus the Percocets. But yeah, I got some tequila. You know what I mean? It's reposado. No, actually, no, it's Aneo.
I'm drinking this new joint. I can't even remember what it's called, but it's expensive.
Yeah, the bottle looks crazy. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't even remember what it's called, but I've been on my tequila tour right now. So far, I really like Casa Dragones. Yeah, this new one's pretty good too. I'm not really a fan of, like, I never really like Casamigos is all right. I never really had 1942 like that. Like but Casa Dragones is per bottle. Like Casa Dragones is way more expensive than 1942. Like way more expensive.
Oh, just based off of like the pricing and everything like that.
Yeah, like the version of Casa, like the normal bottle of Casa Dragones. Okay, like you know, like the normal bottle of Hennessy is like $40, $35.
Yeah.
Normal bottle of like Patron is like $40. Mm-hmm. The normal bottle of Casa Dragones is like $80. That's the like the regular bottle.
All right.
So now when you get into like those like the other versions, like what 1942 is, like 1942 is like it's a sipping tequila or whatever the case may be. Like, so it's a different class than just a regular Blanco. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
Right? So they don't have a regular Blanco. But the regular Blanco for fucking Casa Dragones, like I said, is $80.
It is $80. So
off rip. So like the sipping version of the Casa Dragones is $5. It's $500.
That's pretty tough, actually.
You know what I mean? But like, you know, when I first got it, I was like, oh shit, $80 for a regular bottle. All right, so I tried it out, and I'm like, damn, this is really good. This is really good. It's like when you have like the $150 bottle of Hennessy compared to the $40 bottle of Hennessy, and you're like, oh, this just hits there. Like what?
VSOP.
Not even like the higher VSOP.
Yeah.
Like then there's like the 300. I mean, they got like Hennessy bottles. And not even the fancy bottles where they have an artist. Just like they got Hennessy that costs like $5,000 a wop, and it's not in a fancy bottle. It's in a glass jar.
Oh no, I believe it. Yeah, some of the bottles are extravagant. Some of the bottles are just
like sometimes you're paying for the bottle, but when it's not the bottle and it's like that really expensive. It's been aged for whatever, and blah blah blah. Them shits run. They
run a pretty penny straight the hell up. Like I promise you on that. Like, and I remember there's a lot of classes of Hennessy too. There's a whole big family of different.
A whole bunch of. There's like they got Hennessy bottle. They got Hennessy from like I said, $40 to like $10,000 a bottle, 25,000. Like the Japanese whiskeys. and the gins that cost like ridiculous amounts of money because of however long they've been
like producing
curing.
for it. But now that I think about it, with how long has Hennessy been, like, you would say, been popular in the hip hop community?
I mean, forever.
All right, so like
niggas been talking about Hennessy since the 80s.
I know, but like
hip hop.
Besides Hennessy White, because that might be the only other one.
What do you mean?
Kind of Hennessy White, to me, like, I feel like people kind of got up on that a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean that's really like a Caribbean thing, because it's not like when I say Caribbean, it's because like it's not sold in America.
No, for
Usually
sure.
people, when they go to the islands, or they go to the duty-free stores,
and they pick it up. But like, here's what I'm trying to say is, like, why haven't people decided to graduate off of the regular Hennessy bottle? I mean, people switch brands and everything like that. Of course, you might have some people go to 1942.
Well, that's tequila.
You know, not 1942, 1738. Excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. And then you'll have people switch over brands or even switch over the style of liquor, right?
But they never go up to the expensive one.
Yeah, so like, why haven't, like, in the hip hop community, like, why haven't we, like, say, you know what, this new Hennessy, we're gonna rock with this one because it's X, Y, Z. You know what I'm saying? But everybody still sticks with the
$40 bottle.
The $40 bottle, and and mind you, that's down here. Let's just say it's $60 or $70 up north. You know what I mean? Because
I think Hennessy is Hennessy. Like, I don't think it's $60 for the same bottle in New York.
No, definitely not. Because Hennessy over there is just like an arm and a leg. It's crazy.
Hennessy in New York?
Yeah, they charge a lot.
Maybe they got like alcohol taxes over there.
Yeah, they do. Maybe that's the reason. That same $40 bottle is like a pint over here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's different. It's a whole lot different when it comes to that liquor price. But yeah, like, just thinking about it, I'm just wondering, like, why people haven't upgraded. I mean, obviously, besides like guys in New York, because the price is ridiculous.
I'm you know me, I'm all about upgrading.
Yeah, I'm just, I'm like, damn,
I'm not wit.
It's been around since what? Like 92, 93? I mean, obviously, just Hennessy, like, being popular.
Nah, bro. Hennessy's always been popular. It's not that, but it, like, niggas screaming it out and promoting it in music and shit like that, and I'm showing it.
It doesn't have to be that, but we're talking about if it's at a party, or if there's a Hennessy party, or now there's Douce parties and shit like that. And before,
niggas love Hennessy, bro.
But I'm just saying,
like, if you go, especially if you go to in Florida, okay.
Nah, New York too.
Okay, so the thing about Hennessy also too, right?
Yeah, I feel like I've seen it enough.
The thing about Hennessy also too is, like, Hennessy has a strong connection to the black community. And when I say they have a strong connection, like, yo, peep this, right? When you go to certain places that's not necessarily urban, right? Mm-hmm. You got to see if they have Hennessy or not. A lot of places won't carry Hennessy. You know why?
Because they're not having an urban night.
Because the urban crowd loves Hennessy. Yeah. So they eliminate Hennessy from their menu. It eliminates some of that crowd.
Of course.
That's a little thing. That's what I mean when I say, like, Hennessy has a strong bond with the black and urban community, because if the establishment you're going to carries Hennessy, they welcome your patronage.
Oh no, 1,000%.
I don't drink Hennessy. You know what I mean?
1,000%, but it's that too. But also,
I frequent places that definitely carry Hennessy on the menu.
No, for sure. I would say this too, depending on the location too, because you might not have as many black people there ordering Hennessy. So it all depends on
not just black. Remember, Kim Jong Il drinks Hennessy like it's water. No, Asians love Hennessy.
No, there's a lot of races that love Hennessy. That's also a part too. It just really all depends on depending on the ownership too. there is a bottom line to be had. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I used to do a little bit of bar backing, but we also used to create the orders too, saying, hey, besides just the numbers, what are people asking for that we don't have? Things like that. We used to put them in notes, things like that, you know, taking the orders. Hennessy was definitely hella in stock with in our bar, you know, in the bar storage and everything like that, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, and this is in college, so I'll say, and this is in the capital of Florida, so it wasn't all black, and it definitely was a whole lot more white. There was just one black night, and I would call that urban night. There was really one urban night that we had, and Hennessy, well, all those boxes flew out. We had about 4 or 5 boxes that would fly out through, you know, people ordering the bottles or just people going straight to the bar and tearing it up all day, every day. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it all depends on where it's at. It's just because it literally one night out of the whole week, 6 other days, it wasn't an urban night. Not even close. But it was the capital, so you would have people periodically picking up some Hennessy, drinking some at the bar, drinking the VSOP version, the upgraded version, whatever the other ones are called. They would drink all of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then every week, couple boxes of each version.
Yeah.
Every time, man. It's just. But I mean, shout out to Hennessy though, because Nas has his own little his little ad right in Times Square, right?
Yeah, for the VSOP, right?
Yeah.
Nas is a VSOP.
Chase the Wild Rabbit. Chase the Rabbit, right?
Yeah, it's not just regular Hennessy, it's the VSOP. So that's cool. But also they need to normalize a lot of things. Normalize like just even the information that there's other versions of this shit. It may cost a little bit more, but like you get what you pay for, right?
No,
right?
Yeah.
Like
I think honestly,
and that's going to be a big top. I feel like that's going to be a big topic in this today's episode. You get what you pay for, because there's other shit. There's other shit on the same lines that's going on too. Like not just like with liquor and stuff, but like, Bobby Shmurda was on Instagram or Twitter, wherever he was on social media the other day talking like, producers are wilding with some of these beat prices, and he mentioned like 10K, 8K, this, that, and the third, blah, 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 right? Like, y'all niggas is crazy to think that, niggas should pay this much. I remember when Kanye and Timberland were getting paid $500K.
Yeah, that was...
$500K.
I remember at least hearing 100 to 200K on a... Timberland
was getting paid $500K. Kanye was getting paid $500.
I remember those days.
You know what I mean? And I feel it for the producers.
I'm just saying. I remember when even just hearing 100 to 200 being normalized on beats.
Yeah,
right?
Those are the super producers.
Exactly.
Right?
Like,
Niggas
that was crazy. But at the same time, anything could be negotiated. So, like, for me, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get getting that money. And
yeah, like, I think, like, Boy Wonder and the nigga who did God's Plan. I forget his name, man.
It wasn't Murder, but it was...
No, it wasn't Murder. It was light-skinned cat.
Yeah, he did his thing, too. It was...
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. What's his name? Cardo
on the beat.
Yeah, Cardo on the beat, man. He was saying he was definitely not with it. Boy Wonder said designer beats cost designer prices. Like, yeah, like real talk. If you Air Force Ones cost $100, right? Louis Vuittons cost $1,200, right?
I mean,
just right.
Yeah,
this is pretty basic. Air Force Ones cost $100, Louis V's cost $1,200, $13. Dior's cost $13, $14, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you want the hot shit, you got to pay for it. And this goes out to everybody, not just in the music industry. It's just like, Pay people what they're worth, and just expect that you have to pay. Like, nothing is free, right?
No.
Like, but a lot of times, like, I feel it for the producers too, though, dog. Like, producers get put in a bad spot, especially when it comes to these artists.
Nah, but that's what
that don't know, you know.
Here's what I'm trying to say,
and
man.
They don't even know that they don't know.
Here's what I'm trying to say. Like, with these guys that's like coming out and saying those prices, I actually completely agree with them. First of all, that
hell yeah,
anything that you're just throwing out there is just what you
nigga,
feel.
You got multiple platinum plaques and Grammys, nigga. The fuck?
Even if you didn't, it's just what it's just what is the price that you're placing it as. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but it's not. You can't just come out the gate and you don't have no cred.
No. I'm not talking about the 8,000 to 10,000. I'm talking about people even just putting other prices on it. Right? There was an inflated price, and I can't even say it was inflated because it's just what the industry was making at the time of, and some of the advances were a little bit higher. But
it wasn't inflated. You were paying for the name. It was social media before social media.
No, for sure.
Like, oh, you got a Kanye track? Yeah, this is definitely a single. We definitely shooting a video and we're definitely promoting it.
And honestly, like, okay, if it's a $10,000 like beat,
$10K for a beat ain't even wild to me.
Doesn't sound that crazy.
That's not even wild to me.
Doesn't sound that crazy. But at the same time, like, it all depends on. There's a lot of factors too. Like, it all depends on, like, okay, look. Depends on the artist, but if the artist knows that they already killed the song and everything like that, and it's a hit, doesn't matter what you negotiate, just get it done, because if you know you can travel off this song and it's like a number one type of song.
Well, who are you talking from? What perspective?
Just
the artist or the producer?
Both. Like, if I'm the producer, I think the producer also can know if it's a hit to take that chance too, though, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, dog, niggas need to pay these niggas. Like that. That's why I asked you.
I'm not talking about all of them. I'm talking about, you know, the ones that can't afford that. Like,
that's why I was asking you, what perspective are you talking from?
Yeah, there's producers, because I'm kind of,
these niggas need to get paid.
No, for sure, but I'm saying there's producers that can afford it, right? Because they're getting such a steady income, and you can some people could take that chance.
My retort to that is why? The record labels ain't.
No, but you would.
Why should the producer have to? Why should that be on the producer?
I'm not saying they don't actually eat what they actually get. Like, if they're taking the back end, but they're still collecting exactly what their front end would be before the person actually recoups, I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's cool, but you can't always get that situation.
I never said you can.
Not every producer has the leverage to do that.
That's why I said, if the producer has that actual infrastructure and setup, then yeah, that producer could and I would think should take the chance. But if they don't have that, if they don't have everything, and I'm not saying everything in order, because what I mean everything in order is some things that you can't control. Like, shoot, you might have to pay for a cancer treatment. You might have to pay for this now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, niggas got lives.
There's lives. It's like, you just never know what the hell pops up. So I'm just saying, if it happens to be a smooth moment to where you can actually make investments, and it's in that moment, then I would say, hey, in music, obviously invest in yourself, but take a few chances. Don't take a lot of chances. You gotta count them on a single finger and just be like, hey, I'm gonna take about 2-3 chances on some people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But those chances but you're still writing the paperwork. You're still having everything covered. And you also got to look at their team and their situation too, to make sure they'll go as far as it needs to go.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you're giving out charity. If you know, but you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say one is an industry plant, one is like
my thing is
resurgence,
just like,
and one is a Kodak Black that's in the coming.
My thing is that the industry, especially when it comes to producers, that's why social media is kind of like skewed a lot of stuff, because back in the day, unless you was Kanye, unless you were Timberland, unless you were like Dark Child, Rock Wilder, like RZA, this, that, and the third, like there weren't really no tags on beats. You get what I'm saying? You just kind of knew who made the beat because it was their sound, right? So like, you didn't know who the fuck the producer was. 9 times out of 10, you didn't know that there were songwriters on the track, right? No, let me finish before you just hold the thought. Just memorize whatever you're gonna say.
It's only just to add on to your point.
Okay, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, with that, there's so many copiers today. That's why.
Yeah, that's why. Like anybody now, like okay, thing was very like. Back in like the 90s and the 2000s, the early 2000s, even to the 2010s, it was very like you're in this lane and this is what you do. Mm-hmm. You knew a fucking Heatmaker's beat, and you could tell it was different from a Just Blaze beat. Like Just Blaze, honestly, was one of the first niggas who had a beat tag.
And also,
because at the beginning of his beats, he used to say Just Blaze.
But the rappers too. The rappers too would also shout out who the actual producer was on the track. More
sometimes,
if they were on fire, Heatmakers.
Yeah.
You know, they would boost them up. Like it would be like Just Blaze. You know, got Just Blaze on the beat. The Blazettes. You know what I'm saying? Kanye. You know, they would say their names, and then after a while,
Timbo. You know, there was certain producers that had that type of thing.
Got you bling like the Pharrell, the Neptune sound, bling, bling.
And niggas was getting paid.
No, for sure.
Like niggas was $10,000 was a cheap beat. But back when we were younger.
But now what they would do is if you did do that same shout out, that would definitely be in the beginning of the tag, which started with the Metros and
I mean restarted.
Well, I'm just saying
because niggas was doing it before. But now it's like
a full staple.
It's like
it's a full staple.
It's a bunch of, I don't want to say it's a bunch of followers, but trends become reality in the entertainment business.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Everybody got a tag on their beat now, right? Everybody was making trap beats. Everybody was doing this. It's like now everybody is like touching everything when it comes to production.
Nah, for sure.
I'm not even gonna lie, because we got off the topic and then got off the topic again. I don't even know where the fuck we are.
I mean, no. Let me finish. Well, the point of producers too. I did want to add on to this too when you were saying that, you know, there's tags and everything too. The reason why there's tags too, there's a lot more copycat guys. So like,
yes,
you know,
yes, there is.
So you said it is a copycat league, it's a copycat industry. That's why you have these tags to kind of separate. Hey, you have 808 Mafia. When you hear that, it's a collective. And it's like, and obviously it's Southside.
Yeah, you're expecting something when you hear that. You're
expecting a certain heavy bass, trap, you know, or some type of professionalism on the beat, right?
What were we talking about? Like, this is bothering me now. What the fuck? Where was I going?
That one, I don't know. I can't quite remember. But when
Jesus Christ, I hate when that happens.
But before, we were talking about Hennessy, to be honest with you. Like it was.
I got off the Hennessy topic. We started at Hennessy and we built off of the, like, you get what you pay for. And then we got into the producers not getting paid, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, let me get back onto these niggas not getting paid, right? Shout out Boy Band, shout out Greedo, shout out Jonathan. These are my homies. These niggas is doing major stuff in the industry right now. Jonathan got a couple Drake songs. Shout out Constant. That's the homie also. Yeah, man, these guys got to get paid, bro. They're like crafting all the jams that you listen to. Like, I'm not even gonna play. Like, they're the ones who are mapping the genome for the hits.
No, you're right.
I don't know. I don't know. Like, be honest. When's the last time you said you liked a song off of the bars, off of the lyrics, other than Benny and them? Because their whole thing is bars. right? It's not necessarily the beat that you listening to for Benny and that type of vibe. But I'm talking about like hip hop as a whole. When's the last time you said, "Oh, this song is a hit because of the bars"?
I'll tell you when. It's a 2-part answer, right?
No. Just answer. You gonna make me get off a topic?
No.
I don't want to forget. So just answer.
Okay. Last time might have been Big Sean, but I'll just say it's
what
rare.
Song?
It was a freestyle. It's usually freestyles or some shit like that, like one of those freestyle-ish songs. But that was like a year or two ago. For one, right? Two. The only time I know that some bars are actually pretty decent is if it's an acapella or an acoustic type of shit. That's it. That's all I want to say. You get back to your point.
Yeah, so back to what I was saying, it's like, yo, like, it's the beat.
9 times out of 10, it is.
It's the beat. You get what I'm saying? Like, let's not even go around it. Like,
all right, what about
I'm not saying that to take a shot at the songwriters or anything like that or the artists, but like, yo, the producers are like crafting the whole thing.
So you're saying,
and then no, let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, they're naming these beats, right? And they're sending these beats off to these people, and like 70% of the time, the songs are the names from the beats that the producers send. So now he sends you a beat and it's called Broke Niggas Trip All the Time. Now the song is called Broke Niggas Trip All the Time.
True.
Right? And that's a little thing, but it's big. Because you're building the whole concept. This nigga Kanye paid the runner in the studio who was wearing the leather black jeans when he was recording Yeezus.
Pleather.
with my leather black jeans on, with my by any means on. He gave that nigga a percentage. So now why all the heat and the pressure has to be put on the producers, bro? Like, why do they have to, like, yo, they have a set price, whatever the fuck. They may have had to get a piano player in there, or they may have to play out something and like write some music type of shit. You know what I mean? And this, that, and the third, and then now the record company goes and tries to pressure the producer, like, yo, sign this release form, or we're not putting the song on the record. Like really?
Today's podcast has been brought to you by Beats versus Lyrics. Who do you got?
Lyrics are cool.
It used to be cool. I ain't gonna lie.
Lyrics are fire. You know what I mean? Because your favorite artist always says shit the way. Well, you know what I mean. So but it's like, dog. Why do the producers always have to take the brunt of everything? The songwriters too.
Let me ask you a question. Right? What was it? The song with Drake. The song with Jack Harlow and Drake. What's that called? Churchill's Down. Churchill's Down, right?
Churchill Downs.
Right? His verse, was that better than the beat?
Whose?
Drake's.
Yes. Drake's verse was better than the beat.
It was. I forgot about that one because his shit was...
Because if it was just Jack Harlow on that beat without Drake, and that's an album cut.
It's a good beat though.
It's okay.
It's a good beat overall, but
it's not no radio song.
No, I'm just saying, but Drake took it there.
It's not no radio song.
But that was one of the few rare occasions that right now that lyrics is
Drake is the only person that could do that.
I mean, Nas was doing it for a little while because his beats always kind of, when you look back now, his beats always were.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like now.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying.
Like Drake is literally the only nigga that could be like, all right, this beat is mid, but I got this Drake verse though. Top 40.
Nah, for sure. I'm not sure if Future. I'm not sure if Future could pull that off.
Future can't pull that off.
He usually has hot beats.
He has fire beats.
Even No Shame on the whole, the No Shame and the whole like soundtrack shit. He did his thing on there. The shit for the cop movie. What's the cop movie that?
Talking about Superfly?
Superfly.
He wasn't no cop.
No, I'm not saying he was a cop. I'm saying the cop movie wasn't. He wasn't a cop.
Superfly wasn't no cop. Superfly was a pimp.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, in the original, I don't know what they did now, but I don't think he was. I think he was a drug dealer.
I think he was a drug dealer. My bad.
Yeah, like,
I got that confused with the goddamn new Shaft that came out like right at that same time. Both of them shits dropped like the same week. But either way, like fucking the way that's set up, like it is hard for lyrics versus beats. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like lyrics would just get dominated over like a lot of these genres that's out in music, even in the rap.
It's the music. You know what I mean? Like, the words make it catchy. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the words are playing off of the music. It's very rare that the music is playing off of the words. No,
I mean, we do know artists that will pre-write something, just wait for the perfect beat for it, though.
I mean, yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel about that? Like, you know, that process of just that person, you know, they don't always do it, but they'll have.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. You know what I'm saying? But I still think that's rare. That's all I'm saying. The producers need way more respect. Like, the producers and the songwriters need way more respect. Like, point blank, period. Like, you know how the Grammys have shit split so that it's like, best performance is for the artist.
Yeah.
Best song is for the songwriters. Right?
Yeah.
But the artist is still performing the song that the songwriters wrote. And it's very few and far between that a songwriter is not in the studio with the artist nowadays, and they're just sending this person lyrics with no context.
No, all right, I get that.
This is what, like, think about it, bro.
Okay, but
like, imagine you just got a bunch of words on a piece of paper with no context and nothing how to do it, and then you made a hit record out of it. That's not what's happening.
I get that, but let's just say it's the Drake and Quentin Miller thing, right? Nobody actually wants to hear, you know, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Nobody actually wanted to hear.
Rest in peace to who?
I think he died, right?
Quentin Miller?
Yeah.
No, he's alive.
He's alive?
Yes.
You sure?
Yes.
All right. He lost a leg or something like that?
He always didn't have a leg.
Okay. All right. Something, yeah. All right. Either way. Peace to that man. But either way, man, when it comes to Quentin Miller, does anybody actually want to hear Quentin Miller by comparison of hearing Drake on that same cadence, that same verse?
I mean, I heard Quentin's version, then I heard Drake's version, and Drake's version was definitely better than Quentin's version.
Exactly.
Right?
Like,
all Quentin was doing was giving the vibe.
I get it.
And then he took it from there. But if Quentin didn't give Drake the vibe, I don't know if Drake would have made that great of a song on that.
No, I'm not doubting that.
So that's what I'm saying.
I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying.
Because Drake writes for a bunch of people too.
I get that. But who would you rather hear on there? You would want to hear that person. So yeah, that person's going to perform at that venue. You know what I'm saying? Because they are the performer. You know what I mean? And even with performers since the beginning of times, they always had a lot of things behind them. That makeup artist, the
No, I get all of that.
What I mean?
But what I'm saying is, I'm just talking about for the songwriter. I'm not talking about for all those other ancillary pieces. I'm talking about for the producer and the songwriter. But 9 times out of 10, listen, 9 times out of 10, the song's already done with the beat, exactly how it needs to be, and they just get this person to sing it, just to redo it.
Exactly.
That's it.
It's kind of like an actor in a movie. All the things were pretty much written for him. They just needed the right actor to play out the part.
Yeah, okay. I mean,
when you really think about it.
All right.
When you really,
you got it. You got it. You got it. You got it. You got it.
You really think about it.
You got it. You got it. You're right.
So like,
just give these niggas more respect, though.
No, they definitely need more respect because, like I said, the director, the producer, the Marvel Studios, you know what I'm saying? They are Marvel Studios. It's just, you got to realize, hey, people are still going to pay attention to Spider-Man.
But that's why.
You know what I'm saying? But
I remember where I was going with the beats now, but continue.
Yeah, but, you know, let's just say the artists are the actual heroes. They're Spider-Man, they're, you know what I'm saying, they're Captain America, they're Iron Man, they're, you know, Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel, if you want to throw some females in there. Let's just say they're all of them, right? But
Yeah.
the beat makers at Marvel Studios and on higher parts than that, it's fucking Disney and everything above that, because you need them to actually have that structure. But I'm not saying for all writers and all performers that you see out there, because there's performers that.
But it's
does it
still a little different when it comes to acting into music.
for sure. But there's
Because
a lot.
the nigga who's writing the script, isn't necessarily telling the person how to act it out, or how to emphasize, where to emphasize, you know, what you're emphasizing, like which word you're emphasizing as opposed to what you're not. You know what I mean?
But they're literally giving, there is the person that writes the story, and then there's a script writer. So you'll have the script writer literally tell them everything that they...
No, you mean the screenwriter.
Screenwriter, they'll have everything that they want to see on screen, right?
Yeah, it'd be like, he's turning when he says this.
like...
Yeah,
so
that's different. That's different, but still, it's a little different when it comes to acting in music. Like, literally, the nigga is... I've been in a lot of sessions. You've been in a lot of sessions.
But it also...
When it comes to like niggas, like when niggas is just getting songs like already pre-done, compared to when they're in the studio and they're like going back and forth with the writer on a beat or something like that.
It all depends on the level of the writer. I've been with like younger writers that are now, like, I would say they're kind of probably now new legends or whatever like that. But
Shout out Zeta.
You know what I'm saying? But there's also like younger writers, right? Where, legendary.
Zeta wrote it.
Excuse me. Then there's been like legendary writers where I've been with, and then they've been with, either so-called other legends in the area or legends in the game, or they've been with newer artists. When they're with newer artists, chances are the newer artist is just going to be a sponge and take everything in. The veteran, depending on where they're at in their career,
yeah, they're going to sauce it up.
Like,
obviously, they're going to sauce it up. They're going to change some shit.
And it'll be a back and forth, like, hey,
it's super collaborative.
It's super collaborative.
But at the same time, like, yeah, that's why I said when it comes to with the actors and shit, a lot of times it's not super collaborative. You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
that's why I feel like
it is in the actor's hands, but it's also in the director's hands a little bit too. And that's why it is a collaborative effort overall, because I'm just saying the dependency that you would need depending on the artist, you still need those ancillary pieces to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, back in the day, there was, with those not even just back in the day, singers nowadays still have writers and stuff like that, and they proudly say it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, like, the Beehive don't get at me, but I don't know of a single song that Beyonce wrote. You know what I mean?
But she's a hella performer.
She's a huge, great.
Like, one of the greatest of all time performers, and like can hold a note on top of that. So it's like, you can hold a note. You could sing, you could dance, you can, you know what I'm saying? You know how to do great crowd control. You know how your sets are always supposed to go. They're really grandioso now. You know what I'm saying? You knew how to work in a group at one point too. You know what I'm saying? So, like, to me, like, I wouldn't really even be upset that if Beyonce if she never wrote one lyric, I wouldn't even be upset. I'd be like, hey, that's not gonna make me not sleep tonight. I'm gonna be snoring just because it's like, yo, I still know that she's probably top 5, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
still a top 5 performer, whatever you want to put her. If you want to say singer, performer, whatever, you would have to give her that top 5, whatever order you want to put her in. It's just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
But at the end of the day, I've tried to stress, is that I still think, like, that's why you see now with social media, it's like the songwriters are all over the place. You get what I'm saying? Like, they pick songwriters a lot of times based on their level of popularity. Same thing with the producers. All of these producers now are quote unquote influencers, because the more popular you are, the more apt the label is gonna try to use you.
No, for sure.
And that goes into why now every producer has a tag. It's like metrics when it comes to all of this shit. It's like...
No, it is. It is. I'll say this, because what they're trying to do is protect the overall budget, right? So, like... but they've stopped. They stopped doing big budget. Like, only like the top 2% of artists get like real big budget projects, especially like what they used to do when we were kids. Yeah, everybody else is getting
like,
if signed 3, 5,
these niggas
10,
were spending
15,
these
20
niggas. These albums
tops.
were like 10
awesome.
million. Like the budgets for these albums were crazy back in the day. Crazy budgets, and they were making money. Like, that's the wild shit.
Yeah.
Could you imagine a $500,000 beat? One beat?
Well, I'll tell you this too, because
one beat.
I'll tell you this too, because all those places like Best Buy, Circuit City, FYE, you know what I'm saying, right? All those places, right? Pretty much had to buy out a stock of inventory for those albums coming in. The ship stock. You know what I'm saying? So, like, now those are already albums sold. So now you're getting those sold, plus I think they're counting that double sale. If not, they're counting all the bundle sales, but people buying them individually in the stores too, right?
I don't even think that they don't even... I mean, I've been to Best Buy... I don't even know if they have a music section anymore,
but
bro.
we're talking about back in the day CD format, right? Like back in that day when you had to pick that shit up.
Yeah, but shipped and sold was always different.
Okay.
How much the record label shipped out compared to the sound scan was still always different.
Well, it all depends on if it just got restocked. That was probably the way for them to catch it. Just like it's the restocking.
Yeah, but like just like any business, you only restock on what you think you're gonna sell. You get what I'm saying? So that's why shipped and sold was always kind of comboed. Like if you shipped out 3 million albums, there was a strong chance that you were gonna sell like 2.7. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a metric that they used.
Platinum. Now you gotta, how many plays you gotta get to get a platinum album now? Ridiculous amount of plays.
I don't even know. I don't even know what the stream numbers is tied into how many streams equal an actual album sale. Like they all shift.
Isn't like 10 or more plays or some shit like that?
I don't even know, bro. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I don't even know. Like,
yeah, it's a lot of plays for each song.
It's a lot. It's a lot of plays, but
yeah, it's not a double digit. It's like a triple or a 4-digit, even 5-digit number. Like I think it's like 10,000 plays or more, right? Or something like that.
For what?
Just to say that you had like a album sold or something like that, or
something crazy. Like I said, I don't know. I don't even want to speculate. I would have to Google that shit. But yeah,
it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy, man.
Pay the producers. Stop acting like you can't pay the producers, and stop acting like you can't pay these songwriters. Because at the end of the day, they're going to be the most important part of your career. The music and the words. That's literally what you do.
It's a 50-50 split. You know how it goes.
Back to what I was saying earlier, too. Steph Curry is the greatest next to MJ. Like, I know I said he was fourth. Everybody else has been like saying the same shit that I've been saying. And it kind of like irks me. Because I've been saying this forever. You know what I mean? I just don't have the platform to reach all the people that these other people do. But this nigga Steph Curry is the greatest. Next to MJ.
Yeah, I still got to give MJ.
Next to MJ.
Yeah, 6
like, yo, there's literally only been like 2 or 3 basketball players that have like changed the landscape of the NBA. I'm gonna restate this again.
100% in the finals though.
MJ, yeah, I'm not saying Steph is better than MJ. No. Okay. I'm saying there's only been 2 or like 3 players that have like reshaped the whole NBA landscape. Michael Jordan. I don't even know if you can really even say that Magic changed the NBA landscape. He was just really good. You know what I mean? He was just really good, but MJ and Steph Curry are like the only 2.
No, you're right.
MJ made it vertical. Steph made it spaced out. So
I mean, but that clutch team too, he also showed that athletic players could definitely be clutch, because that wasn't like I don't think that was a thing besides Dr. J. I don't think he was like hitting jumpers to win.
Steph and MJ, man. When it's all said and done, I think they're going to be the two most important players. Bigger than just players. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
At the end of the day, they're probably going to end up being the 2 most important, let's just say, players in NBA history.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. I can see that. I mean, yeah, just because you could kind of maybe become both. Like, if you're taller than Steph and you're like that type of build, you could become MJ, right? And if you're smaller, you could easily become Steph. So, yeah, I can see that.
Before it's said and done, I'm pretty sure Trae Young will probably beat Steph's record for threes or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right, I could see it, but he still won't have the impact that Steph is the reason why he's able to do it.
Yeah, green light. He helped him get the green light. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Even though every time they face off, Steph like make sure he spanks him a little bit, but like overall, Trae Young is definitely going to take that title just because he's going to have that green light from years before,
and he's not going to go through the injury issues that Steph had. Remember, Steph's...
Yeah, I doubt that.
The first like 4 or 5 years of Steph's career was like hampered by injuries.
And playing off the bench. So, like, you know, even with that, like, he didn't get the same minutes that Trae's getting right now.
Not even close.
That's why he's easily going to eventually get that 3-point title. Then eventually there's going to be somebody else that's going to come swoop in and just take that title after that, you know?
Yeah.
It'll be a little bit, but it'll start shifting over. There's always like there's going to be a new king in a lot of like stat lines in the game of basketball for sure. You know,
and also on top of Steph changing the game, I don't see where else where the game can be changed. You get what I'm saying?
Chet Holmgren.
No, like, what do you mean? Like, that's just, what do you mean?
I mean, maybe it goes to, like, I guess, taller, lankier, do-it-all players, like KDS.
But
that's what I mean by that is those guys, like, there has been taller guards that they have been picking up, but this draft has been what, like the first 4 or 5 people have been like small forwards and up, right?
Jaden Ivey's is a guard.
Okay, he's nice though. He's exceptionally nice though. You know what I'm saying? But he was like the 4th or 5th pick though, right?
I think he was the 4th.
Yeah, so like
he went to Detroit, so wherever Detroit went.
Yeah, no, he needed to go there with Cade Cunningham. I think that's going to be a really good backcourt. And like you said, you got to take out homeboy. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that they're already showing him right now. He's already about to do his thing. But like watching this draft though, like I didn't think Paolo was going to go first to the Magic. I didn't think. I did think Chet. You did think Chet was going to go to the Thunder.
Yeah, that only made sense because they had so many picks that they could take a shot on that guy.
Yeah, I mean,
and if he doesn't turn out to be anything, like they still got like ridiculous amount of picks, so it wouldn't be that great. And they're a small market team, so like they're not going to get anybody in free agency. You know what I mean? Like the best they could do is in trades. So like they really have to take shots in the draft.
So let me ask you a question. Like if you had a guess, even though like it's a hard guess in my opinion, top 3 picks, who do you think is going to be the best one?
That's a really hard question. I'm going to go ahead and say that, like, Chet and Jaden Ivey probably have the best upside, like the highest upside, right? Mm-hmm. Like, Jaden Ivey, right, like, for all intents and purposes, he's like a taller Ja Morant. Excuse me.
You're right.
Right? Chet, like he can put the ball on the floor, he can pass, he can guard, he can shoot the 3. But he's just really skinny. He's like 7'2" and he's like 88 pounds. Like he's just really skinny. Like he's really small.
This nigga will just drink a lot of muscle milk and then sure.
He's been doing it all year and he hasn't gotten any bigger. So, like, I think like Chet has the possibility to be a white KD. You know what I mean? But it's like it's gonna be hard because he has a small frame, just really tall. Mm-hmm. Like he's not like Paolo Banchero, where like. Paolo Banchero, he's 6'10", 250, but he's like proportionate to like what a 5'10", 180 nigga would be.
Yeah, nah, he could throw his body around and people just back
like
out.
You know, he just looks like he looks like a normal person, just big.
Yeah, no,
as opposed
solid.
to Chet, who looks like somebody that's just super tall. Like he's really skinny. Like I don't think his shoulders are any wider than my shoulders.
Nah, not at all. Like,
but he's just really long. Pause. So like I don't know. Like I've seen some stuff from him, but also like I've seen him shrink when it comes to like big name competition, or anything like that. So. I don't know.
No, I can see that. Like Chet, with that body size, he could definitely get bullied and pushed around to where he could definitely lose confidence.
If he fills out, because he's still young, obviously.
Porzingis filled out. I'm not saying he's going to be Porzingis.
Was still, he had a little wider frame.
True, but he was really skinny when he came out. And
oh no.
Definitely was super skinny. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hope it turns out good for the kid.
I think he'll be all right. He just needs to be on the right team.
OKC is a good place for him. You know what I mean? So I hope everything works out.
Nah, facts, man.
On other notes, like there was some like different reports to the TJ situation. Like he was out of ICU, something. Everything was.
Yeah, it was
like,
a lot of mixed reports.
He's still unconscious. The last thing I saw.
Crazy.
And that brings into the other thing, like, yo, I hope everything works out good for TJ. Like, I like him. There hasn't been too many New York artists, right? He was one of the the better New York artists out. And I still have a soft spot for New York.
Easily.
So I hope everything works out for TJ. The suspects in the robbery shooting at Chipotle, I think all have been caught. The wild shit is his boy, like you were saying. Go ahead. What were you saying about his boy?
Yeah, so what they said is that they try to say that Lil Tee Jay was caught lacking, they say, which is the internet or whoever the fuck, plus bloggers. And what they were saying is that, or reported, was that he was at a Chipotle.
No, I'm talking about his boy.
I know. And the guys ran up on him. I think there were like 3 people. And his friends defended Lil Tee Jay from, preventing the robbery from actually fully happening and him getting killed. So they brandished a weapon, and that's exactly what they got charged for, brandish a weapon, and, I think showing, having a illegal concealed firearm or what have you. So that was like 2 charges that they decided to put on 2 of Lil Tee Jay's friends, which to me, in my opinion, that is some bullshit, because it is really not self-defense, but it's defense or being a good Samaritan, you know what I mean? Just in general, because what they're saying is that he really could have lost his life.
That's the way it's looking.
Yeah, like he really could have lost his life. He was in critical condition. Now they're saying he stabilized. It's just an ugly situation overall, and just like it's pretty sad when you really think about it, because whoever went after that, it's like 3 people going after one piece of chain that even like Lil Tee Jay has a $200,000 piece. It's like you guys are splitting that like 3 or 4 ways probably. So like realistically, like how much are you really gonna make anyway? So putting your life in danger for like a low ass percentage.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. French Montana chimed in on everything. French said that after this, I'm pretty sure he's probably been thinking this for a while, but he's saying that he believes that rappers have the hardest job.
Oh yeah,
hardest job in the world. TMZ caught up with him. He said, like, yo, I know he's been rushed from one hospital to another, so I pray for his family. I haven't spoken to him. I heard he's in critical condition. It's a bad situation. Obviously, French has been on a lot of songs with him. A whole bunch. He said it was the hardest job being a rapper right now due to them having targets on their back. It's hard out here for rappers, French said. We got the hardest job. You just don't know where it comes from, man. We think that everybody loves us, but everybody don't love us. You know what I mean? Like you said, TJ was shot multiple times during an attempted... Jesus Christ. They've arrested this one guy, 27-year-old, and 2 other guys. Yeah, man. It just isn't street violence that rappers have to contend with. There's like gang shit. It's really bad. Like, it's really bad, man. Rappers...
It is a hard job.
It's a hard job, but it's one of those double-edged swords, Like, TJ would be... I don't want to say this, because I don't want the wrong people to hear what I'm saying and misinterpret what I'm saying, right? But, like... I forgot the nigga's name. But, like, Logic ain't, this shit probably ain't happening to Logic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about Logic because he's white. It's more for the content.
No, I understand what
you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't see Brockhampton getting robbed too much. Honestly, I don't even really see Snot getting robbed. Like...
That was a point I was going to make. Like, it's certain rappers, like... If you're carrying a certain message, and I think...
Yeah, if you're carrying a certain message and you...
I think the flashy ones is pretty much anybody that carries around chains, jewelries, and things like that. I don't know,
like I just don't see certain rap... Like, it's only for certain things. You know what I mean? And, like, rest in like not rest in peace, but like I hope TJ, everything works out for TJ.
Mm-hmm.
But it goes into like, and I don't want to bring this up, but it's like the Young Thug situation, right? Like, look what your lyrics got you into.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not saying it's TJ's fault for his lyrics getting him into this, but it's like, look what your lyrics got you into.
Yeah. Because
as much as Drake talks, like, I don't see Drake getting robbed at Chipotle. I just don't see it happening.
Definitely.
I don't see Jay-Z getting robbed at Chipotle.
No, you're right though. Like when
like I don't see Nas getting robbed at Chipotle, and it's not even like a young to old. Like who's a young nigga right now?
I think it's
who's a young nigga right now that's not really pushing the.
But it's true. Like it's whatever energy you put out in the universe is going to come back to you, right?
Yeah, like in life, not just in music.
Exactly.
I just think it's magnified in music.
Yeah, definitely. You know what they say about
in the music. Entertainment, not even just music, in the entertainment in general. Just because you're out there so much.
Yeah.
They're gonna put like image, they're gonna push it so much. So it's like I don't know, man, like it's hard to comment and to react to this situation, even with French. You know what I mean? Like it's just rappers have it hard because like they push the image and like they push the content of what you're saying more so, especially than quote unquote actors. Actors, you're like literally playing a role. They're not going to push that you're like a murdering bastard if you played Charles Manson in a movie. You get what I'm saying? You're going to push the role.
Yeah, they're always going to push the role.
But like with hip hop and stuff, like if you're talking about whatever it is that you're talking about, they're going to push that image.
Nah, you're right.
Because there's like this credibility factor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but just the reasons why that they try to actually make it believable with acting and then the way that they do with like artists is that the people always want to make it feel like it's believable, and that's just the issue is with the music and the art imitating life is that when you have that actually going on, there's real things going on, there's real people involved, there's real shootings involved now, you know what I mean? And that's the actual problem, you know, and that's what's happening with this whole like, you know, not trap beats, because trap beats is just a part of the actual sound and aesthetic of everything, but it's the actual pushing of the labels of pushing the artists to do so, to market that, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah, to maintain the image.
Yeah, and
it's tough out there. Like I get what they're saying, because yeah, these niggas is always seems to be like some sort of violence around these guys.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
And I mean, it's got to be like walking PSD. You know what I mean? Just like
and you know what? It's because there's a lot of people always, and it's both a part of it. It's something you really, the labels shouldn't play with. The artists also.
I mean, look at the whole Chicago situation.
Yeah, but the artists are also making a lot of money, so they're not going to really be the ones to tell the label or anybody else, hey, we need to stop and stand on the moral ground now, when you know they're running through East Circuit making.
The thing with that is that you got to think about the other stuff, not just that. It's like a vicious, not to be cliche, but it's like a vicious circle now. You know what I mean? Like, let's take Chicago, right? Mm-hmm. All this shit was Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
they've been given all these Chicago gangbangers record deals, essentially, right? Is what the consensus is, and now they're using that money to make music and to promote more gang shit, right? Yeah. Not only that, you got all of these people that now, because of social media, YouTube, all of those things that have nothing to do with it, commenting. And that's furthering the thing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. It's furthering the exposure of this gang shit. You know what I mean? And it's making these guys more famous. On top of furthering the exposure, it's bringing in people that have absolutely nothing to do with what's going on in Chicago, involved in what's going on in Chicago. And it's like their voices now have a say.
No, for sure.
Like people who have absolutely, like you were talking about whatchamacallit the other day. It's like bringing in the fact that now, like, all of these people that don't know street shit are commenting on street shit. And it's become its own market.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what you were telling me about Homeboy.
Oh, yeah. No, I was watching that episode of No Jumper or whatever like that. And
Adam 22, right?
Yeah. But
no, Adam wasn't on there.
Adam wasn't on there. That episode, he had Poetic Flakko and 16 Shot Him, I want to say. And basically,
those are some wild names.
Yeah.
16 Shot Him.
Yeah.
And Poetic Flakko.
Yeah, crazy names. And basically, like, from what I understand, it was...
Where's Poetic Flakko from?
I want to say North Dakota or something.
North Dakota.
Some shit like that. Like, I want to say some like that. One of those Delaware, North, whatever. Like, from what I seen, it was like, I think he's from the Fargo-esque area. You know what I mean? So, like... And originally, before that, like, he's from Liberia. Came over there.
Okay, Liberia, there was some shit going on.
Yeah, he came over there and went over to somehow being over in North Dakota or whatever, right? And basically, long story short story even longer, these two are arguing over Bandman Kevo getting a BBL. Is it true? Is it not true? And they're on the podcast talking about it. But the wild part is that if you haven't seen all the clips out there, which I'd be shocked if you haven't, but if you haven't seen, this man was really just starting off like the whole interview podcast.
The whole vibe
just jumping out the gate, calling 16 names, right? And I'm talking about Flakko.
Okay, so who's the other guy?
Who? 16 Shot Him. He's more AD.
Who was the guy that was actually hosting?
AD was more of like I want to say the mediator, if anything, on this one. But AD's a host of No Jumper. Also, he's a rapper that was on the Games album with I want to say Fold My Flag. He's like the last verse on there. The only Crip that was on like an All Blood song, actually, that had millions of plays. But he's a pretty respected.
He's a Crip?
Yeah.
He was a lot of red.
Yeah, that don't matter for him. He's definitely Crip. But either way, but AD definitely, like, as far as like LA is concerned and all that, it's just respected, right? You know what I mean? So he was there just kind of being a host, but also keeping an eye on things because they had like an online either Clubhouse or like Twitter beef type of thing. And Adam was going out of town, but he's like,
Twitter fingers come trigger.
He was like, man, you know what? He didn't think like Flakko would fly off the handle. He was like, you know what? Y'all can talk about it on the podcast, you know, like adults, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And
or so he thought.
That's what he was thinking. Like I could kind of see, like, because I could kind of see how that could like happen because you don't think Flakko's like a one of those type of dudes. 16 is definitely, you know, affiliated, but Flakko isn't. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, he's from Liberia. middle of America, top middle of America area. You right? So like, you would think, hey, this might go smooth because he's not going to be able to like say all the same shit that he's doing. Then as soon as he starts the whole interview, clout chaser. Calls him clout chaser right out the gate. Not even 5 seconds, not even 15 seconds, not even 5 milliseconds. It just clout chaser. Called him that right out the gate. And I want to say after the 25th time, after an hour straight of hearing that, then it went down. And what went down was 16 shot and ended up spitting that Flakko. You know what I mean? And really, after Flakko said "suck my dick," really. So
yeah, you just glossed over the whole.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna explain to you why they were going back and forth. Anyways, it was over Bam Man Kevo getting a BBL or so what have you. Flakko doesn't believe that he got a BBL, and it's just, to me, it's just semantic of words. It was agree to disagree moment, right? When two guys are going back and forth, but one person's not really listening. And honestly, to me, 16 was bringing up a lot of good points with a lot of good evidence. And I thought, like
what was he bringing up?
He was bringing up, like, listen, he was basically bringing up that Bam Man Kevo does lie and has been proven. Like, I think he also, like, knows his ex-girl, whatever. For me, when his ex-girls and media involved, to me, I don't really hold too much credence into that just because there's a lot of emotions, you know what I'm saying? But when he was saying, hey, I think he was saying Bam Man Kevo pays media blogs so he'll be able to do whatever he wants or be able to say whatever he wants to say type of shit, and they're going to do what he says, right? He actually said that to 16 Shot, and he's like, so why would I think he's not telling the truth when he's saying that? You know what I'm saying? Like, he literally was yelling at me about doing that shit, and you're saying he doesn't pay vlogs. Like, I have it in recording. He played the recording of that, right? Mm-hmm. There was another thing that he played where he was like,
Bam Man Kevo was doing wild shit, like posting addresses under his post or some shit like that.
Yeah. After a while, like,
doing some other shit, right?
I think because dude brought in a few guests that Bam Man Kevo would consider ops, I would assume. He was starting to, like, threaten that he would put out that dude's address, 16 Shot him address, and, like, phone number.
Listen, that's the what, like, what makes niggas think that you won't get killed? Like, that nigga, you put out my address?
And this,
all right.
And mind you, this is all over a BBL.
Like one of them tummy tucks, not a butt lift, but like one of them tummy, like them niggas get abs.
What he was trying to say is that he got a tummy tuck first, but then he needed a BBL to even shit out.
Oh man, okay.
I was like, because he was like, yeah, he looked mad fit up top, getting the abs and everything, and then the legs and all that just didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that is a good fire back. I was like, it doesn't sound like he's lying for real. Like, I just is like, I don't see the motivation of the 16 lying, and I have no clue about. I've never watched not one of his videos, but he sounded pretty convincing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just talking. I didn't
understand why homeboy was calling him clout chaser so much. Yeah, he was, like, every other thing was like, yeah, you clout chaser.
And then he was calling him a clout chaser because he brought on a guest that was like a co-defendant of Bam Man Kevo in some type of crime. I was just like, and I'm like, how is he a clout chaser bringing somebody close into?
It sounded like that Flakko nigga got a hard on for Bam Man Kevo.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, he's either in payroll or, you know, something's going on, because it's like, that doesn't make, like, that's the one thing. Even Adam came back on the show, was like, this would make a whole lot more sense if I found out if he did take money from Bandman Kevo. Like, at least it would ease my mind to know that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it makes sense, but everything else just doesn't make sense to me. Like, that's what he said. And I'm like, I'm right there with you on this one. It doesn't make sense of why first of all, why they're arguing about it. Second, why is he going so hard?
Oh, yeah.
For Bandman Kevo? I'm like, bro, this dude just keeps bringing up points with, like, at least a partial receipt or some type of receipt.
Yeah, he got receipts. And
then I'm like, bro, Flakko the whole time did not bring up one thing that made sense.
Yeah, it didn't sound like Flakko was doing anything.
No research.
Yeah, like he was doing not Flakko, but 16 shot him. Like everything that 16 shot him was saying was like calm and measured.
Very.
And then this nigga was like, yeah, you clout chasing. And it's just like
name calling. Like, it just, to me, like, there's some, okay, like.
There was some it's just like the little clips that I saw, because I didn't watch the whole thing. It just looked.
There was a lot of underlying bullshit going on. And then on top of that, like, to me, it's a bigger point of, like, I'm not saying, like, podcasts, to me, all right, when it comes to podcasting, right, this is even a bigger discussion, right? When it comes to podcasting, I don't think it's like interview style unless that's what the show's about, right? Yeah. Unless you say, hey, we're going to have a podcast, but it's interview style because we're going to have guests on and interview them, then we're going to go into random shit and then whatever. That's how our show is, right?
Yeah.
Boom. And then there's other podcasts where it's just open format. Maybe you're talking about, hey, yeah, we talked about some shit online and it got a little bit heated, but we're bringing it to the podcast. Or maybe it wasn't heated, but we talked about it for a little minute and we're going to talk about it on the podcast, right? So on this one, like it just really, really irked me. Just like how many times this man Flakko was not listening. It really was irking me, yo.
It sounded like he had an agenda.
Bro, it was bugging.
1,000% he had an agenda.
And then, like I said, how podcasts should go, it should be an open format to where it's not interview, it's just more open and everything like that. And it just was not open. He was just like, literally just, let me call you a name. Boom. And then, yeah, I get that the person was in accepting what you were calling him a name about, and you're calling the man out this man's name. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, here, isn't like, he's like, you're a clout chaser. Da 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 da. Yeah, facts. And he's like, why am I a clout chaser if I invited somebody that wanted to talk about other things besides just that? But he said, hey, I want to talk about this, and then I'm going to talk about some other things, but I'm close enough to the situation to where I could talk about it. And before, mind you, he actually told Flakko, like, yo, honestly, I avoided dude for a minute, but then I realized, like, some people hit me up who I know who I'm affiliated with. They hit me up and said, nah, this dude's official. That is his family. That is his da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, damn, okay, if they're hitting me up about it, let me check it out. And then he checked it out. Everything connected. Let me have him on the show. And that's his show on the way on the come up. And he's like, yo, you're a cloud chaser. You're a nobody. Because you only have 10,000 followers. I was like, yo, that's lame as fuck, first of all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, the whole basing somebody's existence on the amount of followers that they have is pretty lame. Like
everybody has a moment where they're coming up. That's just what it is. I just thought that was so lame as fuck. I was just like, and then to me, like, I thought he was going to get suspended, but they're at least, like, from what Adam's doing, he's like, I at least got to see if he's going to calm down, you know, but everybody else is seeing, like, he was like, I've never been in a situation where somebody gets spit on and the whole office is like, well, now he looks like he deserved that shit. Like, everybody, he was like, everybody in the office I heard was yelling at him. Like, while it was happening, like, Flakko, what the fuck you doing? Da 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 da. Everybody, and mind
how did it come to the suck my dick part,
bro?
Pause.
That's the part that was crazy. All right. So they're going back and forth, this and that, like, but it's an hour after Flakko's calling him a clout chaser.
Yeah, he was called, like, just the like 2-minute clips I saw, he called him clout chaser like 4 times in the span of two minutes.
Bro, the dude had,
and like just repeated it. Yeah, you clout chasing.
16.
You a clout chaser.
16 had patience like a goddamn saint. That's all I'm gonna say. But the man basically was like, "Yo, da 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 da." I think how it actually transpired before he said it was what's name really got pissed off because he was calling him a cloud chaser. He was like, "Oh, word, cloud chaser." He was like, "All right, Man Junior," and then he was like, "Yo, suck my dick." Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what Poetic Flakko said. He's thinking in his mind. He's thinking like that's laissez-faire, you know, just playing around. This nigga's like, what?
He said, I'm gonna spit on you.
Yeah, spit on him. You know what I'm saying? And mind you, there was a whole fucking clubhouse in like the morning or whatever. Like, I clicked on the YouTube clip because, you know, they compile the shit or whatever like that. But the dude was like, the reason I spit on you is because I knew you weren't going to do shit, man. You a pussy. You know what I'm saying? But he was like, yeah, but after that whole time, he just kept calling me out my name, this and that. He's saying the same shit that everybody was talking to Flakko about. Like, nigga, you just calling the man out his name. You didn't. And AD was like, man, I was disappointed because usually Flakko, you come with just cold, hard facts. And like, I respect that you didn't duck the fade and shit like that. That's cool. Like, but
he was stuttering after he got spit on. Like, yeah,
exactly.
No, I beat your ass just for standing.
And he was hiding behind AD anyways. But I'm saying, like, he was like talking about ducking, like, as far as like going at him. But like, he was like, usually you go at people with like,
how you say suck my dick to niggas who brought homies? He brought the homies.
And them homies ran up too, ready. And it was funny because it was like, yeah, I ain't even gonna lie, dog. AD was like, yo, his homies was supposed to duff me out. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, just to get through to you, he was like, them dudes was supposed to duff me out and then get to you. And then honestly, I was supposed to take up for you. And then after that, me and you were supposed to shoot the one.
Yeah.
Like,
shoot the fade.
Yeah.
Cause you wildin',
yo.
But that goes back to the point of niggas who ain't never really been around street shit trying to talk about street shit.
Yeah, and it's
not always black and white when it comes to street shit, man.
No,
it's not always black and white when it comes to anything. There's various shades of gray.
It's not like you can't see it a mile away that he doesn't know what he's doing when it comes to that. But when I heard this was another wild statement that I heard from this fool. This fool apparently, I think, I'm not sure if it was AD or, I think he told this dude, one of the extras on No Jumper or whatever like that, but I think it's OG Suicide. But he told him, he was like, yeah, man, I just want to get all the gangs together and just sit down and do a dinner. He was like, you want to end up in a box? Like, are you kidding me?
He wants to do a sit down with all the gangs. Yeah, you wildin'. But that goes to when, like,
that goes to show
those altruistic niggas that really don't know what the fuck's going on.
You
know what I mean? Like, it's like niggas ain't trying to sit down and shake hands and kiss and make up. Pause. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's not what it's about right now.
Nah, for real.
Like, that's not always an option.
Definitely.
Sometimes things have gone on too long or gone too far to where a nigga can't just kiss and make up. Pause.
And chances are, it, at some point, it went too far. You know what I'm saying? So
especially in the street. The street is belligerent. Man. You kill my nigga, I'm gonna kill your nigga, and then you're gonna kill my nigga because I killed your nigga, and then I'm gonna kill your nigga because you killed the nigga that I. You know what I mean? And like that's just how it's gonna go.
And it might, depending on the state that you, and not just the mental state, but the actual state you in, they might go straight for family off top. Like, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, you know, I ain't talking about your brother. I'm talking about your actual brother or your actual family, your actual da. Like they gonna go crazy.
Yeah, man.
They can easily go crazy.
Like I said, like.
But back to like, yeah, you know, the people that's like not really of the culture, speaking on the culture, and they're really, you know, mouse pad mobsters. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
yeah.
Man, like I always say, man, you can't trust anybody that don't have direct access to the beach. Like
That
if you
part.
live in a place, like if you live in the middle, like I'm sorry for like the niggas in the middle of the country, but dog, if you don't have direct access to the beach,
Could be a problem.
it's like I don't think that you're necessarily exposed to a lot of outside factors. You know what I mean? Like we're in Florida, even in New York. You know what I mean? There's a million different ethnic backgrounds in New York. Same thing in Florida. Every Spanish, every different type of Spanish and Latino you could think of is out here.
Oh yeah,
You got Caribbean, you got Africans,
melting pot.
you got Indians, you got European, you got everybody out here, bro. So you're exposed.
Yeah, they have the
A lot of times, like yo, in North Dakota, who are you exposed to? You got the American Indians, you got white folk, you got the niggas on the army base, and you got the niggas that play for the college.
That's it.
I remember back when I was like in middle school or high school, man, I was watching Road Rules, and like one of these niggas is like a white boy. He was like from Iowa or North or South Dakota or Montana, one of those places, right?
Montana.
White boy say the only time he's ever seen a black person was on MTV.
Oh, I remember that one. It's like 94, 95, some shit like that.
No, it was later than that. It was way later than that. It was a
homie that got that smacked dude in the car. Remember that?
Oh, I don't know. I can't remember, but it was like, I think it was around the time when they started like the challenge. So whenever the challenge was around, he was on a Road Rules during that era. Just a regular Road Rules. I can't remember his name, but he was like from one of those countries. You don't have direct access to the beach, and there ain't no black folk out there. Only black folk that be out there, they're on the army base or they play a sport. The only reason why they're out there, fam. So, like, with that said, like, it's a joke that I have, but it's like, yo, them niggas from the middle of the country, man, them flyover states, you can't trust them. You can't, I can't trust them. I shouldn't say you shouldn't trust them.
Don't trust them.
But I can't trust them. And a lot of time, their sensibilities, when you're not exposed to a lot of shit, you get what I'm saying? Like, you don't have context for what you see on television.
Yeah, he has no context. He's going off of just pure internet blogging. No, like, because all right,
like you remember when was it Vlad? He was interviewing was it Chiali? Well, what happened? What happened with tell niggas about the Chiali story?
Oh, the
nigga was beefing with his sister's like boyfriend or baby father because he was doing some wild shit.
And then he
went to go confront him.
Yep.
And nigga said, "Nah, suck my dick." And what did he say? He said, "Suck my dick." I said, "Oh, word," and I backed up and clapped him. Fat Joe has said, "Yo, suck my dick that's one of those things. Like you don't not even just New York guys, bro. You like." Men in general, I think, at this point, you say suck my dick, bro.
Running the fade.
That's instant fade running. Instant, like...
It's like, nah,
suck my dick is running the fade or grabbing the strap. That's what it's gotten down to.
It's not even an invite for the fade. It's like, it's just jumping out the gym.
Yeah, bro. Like, for some reason, that statement alone
invokes violence.
Bro.
Oh my God.
It invokes violence.
Straight up. Like, you can't
it's like the difference between calling a woman a bitch and calling a woman a cunt. You know what I mean? Cunt just is worse.
No, for sure. But Frank standing is pretty goddamn bad if you ask me.
Huh?
I said Frank standing is pretty bad if you ask me.
What do you mean?
You know, inviting people to the Frank stand, you know what I'm saying, to suck my dick line.
Oh, yeah.
That's just wild.
That's horrible. Like I said, that's probably that's one of the worst thing you can say to somebody in a contentious situation is suck my dick. Things are liable to go left, right, up, down, and center. Like,
no, that's true, though.
it's almost worse than talking about their mom. You saying suck my dick.
Nah, that's a fact, though. But the way like that line has been, yeah, lives are lost, pride is high.
So yeah, bro. It just whoa. That's one of those things where it prompts an illicit, violent action, and you can't go around it.
No, it does. It does.
So for him to just play around like that,
it does.
like, I think he was trying to goad him into doing something wild from Jump Street. Like, that's what it seemed like, because, like I said, I never seen that guy ever before in my life, Flakko. But, like, just the fact that the amount of times that he called him a clout chaser and said clout chasing, it was just like, yo, you're really trying to just, like, stick with this clout chaser narrative on this guy. Like, you're really trying to get this point across.
Nah, he was all about that shit. I'll tell you that right now.
So yeah, that was kind of wild to me.
Nah, that shit bugged me out. Like, but like I said, just not having the experience to be able to hold the actual interview / podcast together and just going so personal.
I think they have
with nothing to really stand on. It just didn't make sense.
I think these guys are trying to be like academic, but on 10. You know what I mean? It's like, how far can I do this? How far can I go? Academic isn't the type of nigga, from what I like, from the little shit that I see from Act. Like, I don't be on his lives. I don't be on his Twitch. I'm just talking about, like, the videos that be out on, like, World Star, like his little recaps and shit like that, right? Mm-hmm. Or, like, giving you the breaking news. He doesn't really... He's not necessarily pushing the envelope so much. He's just stating it. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like a lot of these guys are, like, really pushing it.
Nah, yeah.
More so than just stating facts. They're trying to state it in a way to goad you into reacting a certain way.
Yeah, they're all about trying to do the satire, copying academics is like little shit, but it's like, I mean, yeah, it works to a certain sense, like, but to me it doesn't, because it doesn't allow you to have your own original feel, look. You could gain like the extra followers, but to me, it's just better just to, oh yeah, nah, this is what this costs, or this is what this is, and that's it. Just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Better than just guessing every time. You know what I'm saying? But dude definitely needs some, like, hopefully he doesn't get packed out, but who knows? The way it's looking.
Yeah, they might catch him on the street.
Yeah.
One of those things.
Yeah.
I'm not promoting no violence, but it's like, yo, it just like,
if you have a whole,
I don't think like a lot of times I don't think a lot of people understand that things are real. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I still think certain people don't get reality when it comes to things they see on like social media.
Agreed.
You know what I mean? I think all of that. I think there's that going on. Like,
no, I agree.
I'm struggling to find the right words to say it. You know what I'm saying? But like, I just don't think. I don't think a lot of people are in reality anymore. Like, I just think that's the long and short of it.
Nah, not anymore. I mean, like I said, just the way like that whole interview was conducted, or you know.
It was wild. Like, and I'm surprised that AD didn't say anything before it got to that point. Like when this nigga said clout chaser for like the 15th time.
He was trying to honestly like move him on. He's like, "Hey man, stop calling him clout chaser." He checked him a few times on it. Just
okay. See, like I said, I didn't watch the whole thing.
When you watch the whole thing,
I just see the clips.
Like people, and the funniest part was they had like the video on, like, I guess the original No Jumper like podcast or whatever, and it was talking about that shit for a minute, and then he was like, yeah, first everybody was on their ass because they didn't really see that it was like a whole interview set up with the song and all that, like da. But they're like, yeah, stall out Flakko, this and that. And all the fans, oh, you asshole, AD, blah 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 blah. And next day when they finally seen it, he's like, AD, you were right. He was like, yeah, you should see all the people changing up now. And he was like, it was just funny though, just the way it was set up. I mean, but yeah, he ain't protecting them no more. He said, man, you putting us all in danger.
Yeah. Let's normalize stop protecting niggas. Like, let's stop protecting niggas from themselves. Don't put that pressure on yourself. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're just causing a crutch for people. And when that crutch isn't there, you're going to see they're going to turn into crash dummies.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine if AD stood between them and one of the homies swung and fucked them up? Got into some big fight?
They'll put a don't stop the fight clause on the next one.
Yeah. I'm not getting in between you this time, fam.
Hell no.
It's on you. I'm going to let you crash all by yourself. Do not resuscitate.
Exactly what he said. It was funny. He was like, after he felt like he was saying that felt like he was still right besides the suck my dick line. He's like, man, I couldn't. I was like, man, listen.
Yeah, from when he said, from the word suck came out, I was like, nah, man.
The look on AD's face was like, God damn, what the fuck is you on? Honestly.
That was wild.
Yeah.
And then it's like, did he just do it for social? You get what I'm saying? You get what I mean? Did he do it for a moment?
I'm wondering.
You get what I'm saying?
Because obviously, like, you know.
It makes me like, this whole new reality that we're in, it makes me wonder sometimes, like, yo, was this just done for a moment? Was this done for people to talk like, yo, why was he? You get what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Don't even know anymore.
I agree.
So I don't know, man.
Nah, just the way it's shit's set up, man. Like, fucking, you're always gonna have like these, like, I ain't gonna call them weirdo because that's just name calling, but you're gonna have these weird situations of the internet's meeting the streets, and the internet's finally gonna meet what the streets is really about.
I don't know. I don't necessarily think they're too prepared for what that entails. Because it's cool to be gangster. It's cool to be gangster and all of that stuff when, like, there's 4 walls protecting you and a computer screen and VPN and all types of shit. But when it's in front of your face, like, it's a different story.
Nah, yeah, the way it is, like you really can't hide from it. Like if you're doing a podcast right in front of somebody, and then something goes a little left, but just the way, like I said, it was. Matter of fact, I'll tell you even two things even heavier. That makes it even funny. It was like the Black Podcast Avengers, or like media people, Van Lathan formerly from TMZ. He was talking about. He's like, I was disappointed in Flakko just not bringing up like good points and things like that. That's usually what he does, and this and that. He said that. Academics said something alluding to that. He's like, nah, he just wasn't making no sense. It's just like the other dude brings up a point, and just Flakko wasn't listening. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't having it. Da 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 da. So like, I think he'll be a little bit better for it, but might hold off on our trading because I see people in the front anyways.
Yeah. Now we can get into that shit you saw on the TV.
Oh, yeah. Talking about different trades for Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie
Yeah.
presented the Nets with a list of trade partners, supposedly.
Sounds familiar?
Sounds like Russ. Sounds like...
No, but what I mean by sounds familiar is that he did that with the Cavs. Remember? He gave them the list.
I remember.
And at first, like, maybe he thought he was going to come back, and then didn't happen. So I think he's gone. Man.
Do you think Kevin's gone? Do you think Kevin's good?
It might be Kyrie.
Oh, Kyrie Irving has a list of teams he'd like them to consider on sign and trade if a new deal isn't done. I'd like to know the list.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely like to know the list.
Shit, I'm trying to... Maybe
I wonder if anybody knows. That list includes the Lakers, the Clippers, the New York Knicks, the Miami Heat, the Dallas Mavericks, the Philadelphia 76ers. James don't want you over there, nigga.
Nah.
I don't know why you got the 76ers over there like James wants you. From what I understand, you and James don't get along too much.
Damn.
You wasted like a whole year of his career. Maybe the last like super prime year.
Yeah, that is true. The way James played that last year, definitely a wash.
Yeah, man. Kyrie Irving got a lot of... I don't know. He got a lot of negative things with him right now. So I don't know. I don't necessarily know if...
Do you think he's going to get that contract? Not the max, but like a
I wouldn't
decent
give him
contract.
5 years.
Like a decent contract. Like what contract do you think he'll end up with if he?
I tell him like what's going around is saying for him to opt in, and they'll give him another 2 years at like $90 million. So you have like 3 years at like 125 or 3 years at 136 or whatever they were talking about.
It's not bad. I don't think
that's not bad, but it's like, man, this man Kyrie don't play. He's often injured.
I mean, if KD wants him, it's just I think that's
but like I don't understand why KD would hitch his wagon to Kyrie.
At this point, he did it so long, it's ride or die.
It doesn't make any sense to me because I don't know, like it doesn't seem that they're after the same thing. It seems that Kyrie is pretty content with just playing until I guess this next contract's done and he gets his money and that's it. Like, I think Kevin wants another ring.
I mean, right now, it'll probably be good for him to get another ring after Steph has been kind of moving up that ladder heavily.
Steph's number 2, dog, like I said. But I would think that Kevin would want another ring. Like, just the competitor.
I think he's going to have an MVP season.
I think Steph's going to have an MVP season.
Nah, if I had to put money on it, like William Hill or whatever, William Caesars, whatever, like I would put my money on Kevin.
You had it right the first time.
Oh yeah, because I just feel like honestly, he's been getting a lot of shit this whole fucking summer. So it's just
he brought it on himself though.
No, for sure. But I'm just talking about like yeah, him leaving was already bringing it on himself.
I'm not even that, but I'm talking about like the comment after game 1.
Yeah,
it was kind of.
It was a smug ass.
It was kind of tongue in cheek.
Yeah, but at the same time too, like I just think I think KD like could just. I think he could do a real good job like next season cleaning up a lot of things just by getting that MVP. And I mean, obviously, like I'm not saying he has to win, but it has to be one of those foot on the toe line kind of, Eastern Conference or Finals kind of loss that, would make him like a legend. But to me, if he just wins to Brooklyn, that's good enough too. But we'll see. I'm hoping that Kyrie doesn't leave. But this is the same thing I hoped last time when he left the freaking Cavs. He did. You know what I'm saying? Went to Boston. So.
And look how that turned out.
No, I'm not saying it's gonna turn out well. It's just to me, I think he works well with LeBron because LeBron is like a passer. He can get a couple easy open shots. He kind of has like it's like kind of having a athletic ass like smart like him and I mean obviously Draymond's smart, but just saying like highly athletic like Draymond, you know what I'm saying? That could hit a 3 and do all that shit too. So shit, LeBron was planning on making him like the team leader or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like not just a team leader, but be the franchise like. Feature Kyrie in the spots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of did it for AD the next year, though, after they won.
You think so?
They did, but he was just hurt. But every time they played, it was AD in the spotlight. Not just like passing the ball, but I'm talking about like AD would be in the artwork type of stuff, too. Mm-hmm. And they would make sure AD had like the highlight reel to like put in there too. So they definitely featured AD. But like I said, I mean, I just think overall, like it just wasn't like a real good decision by Kyrie on missing out that part of the season. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? With COVID, that just really messed up his money overall. And I think like if I had to put some money on it, if he does leave, like what team do you think he would go to? Besides like the Lakers, like if it's his choice or whatever, you think he'll end up
maybe the Knicks?
I think Knicks or Clippers.
Knicks or Clippers. I could see him on the Clippers. They need a point guard, but Kyrie's not really a point guard. So then there's that.
I think you get somebody like him and another playmaker. And I'm not sure who could play the playmaker at the 4 or you just maybe turn Paul
And it would be a sign and trade, so then who are you getting rid of?
No, apparently they still keep the other 2, so it would be like probably like Reggie Jackson and somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It would probably be that. If I had to like guess it. But then again, I mean, Reggie Jackson left on bad terms. I'm not sure if he left on bad terms with Russ or if he just left on bad terms with just leaving the Thunder in general. And was that with KD? That one I can't remember off the top of my head, though. But I know there was something going on with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was definitely something going on with that. Let's check, though. Hold on.
Kyrie.
Dog, sauce him up like Kyrie. Kyrie.
I don't even really think he has that great of handles.
No,
a lot of people say like he has the greatest handles ever, but like
systematic game.
Yeah, they're not that like. It just seems very robotic.
I think he works off a number pattern, like 1, 2, da da da. You know what I'm saying? Like,
because he always does the same move.
No, he does. It's the same.
He does that double cross between the legs to the spin.
I'm actually surprised that people haven't figured it out yet, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, he's getting older now too.
Yeah, he's in his 30s now, so, and he openly talked about not playing past his 30s. So there's that also.
Last check, Kyrie. He might do that though. He might do that. You know what I'm saying? But if I had to guess though, like, fuck Kyrie though. I think if I had to guess, like, next season with all the people coming back, let's just say Kyrie is on the Nets. Nets fully healthy.
Yeah.
How far do they go?
That's a really hard one. That's a really hard one.
And I mean, if everybody plays their role, they could win it.
You think? I mean, with Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Ben Simmons literally being the point guard, you know what I'm saying? Being that defender, shooting a couple shots here and there. It doesn't have to be threes. It's just like a couple middies. And then really getting back to like catching lobs and just going downhill, making passes and finishing plays when they just back off of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be super hard. You're going to have the most you're going to have the most open dunks in your life because people are going to come off of you to get to Ben Simmons. You're going to have open shots because people are coming off to you because they're going to have an open, not an open KD, but KD's going to get you open as soon as he's near you. They're going to come off because KD's just going to do a little shimmy. All you got to do is just dive down, dunk about 6 of those a game. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real simple, like, basketball life for him. That's if he wants to dress, though. We'll see. Hopefully he's not going through those mental struggles. But I just think he just didn't want to face Philly, honestly. What do you think?
I don't even know because he had that back surgery, so all bets are off. All bets are off when it comes to that. Like, listen, you don't just...
He might be finished.
There's not too many elective back surgeries like that I know of, period. So me saying too many may even give you the inkling that there's some like there. I don't think there's none. Like, you don't just up and say, "Oh, I'm gonna have back surgery." It's one of those like I said, it's one of those life altering things. So yeah. I don't know.
No, you're right though. You're right. I mean, and then who else is back? You have the Jamal Murrays of the world coming back. Michael Porter Jr. Another back issue, but what do you think about them? Think they're going to climb up the ranks, or is it just more of the same? Or is just...
more of the same.
All right,
more of the same. I think the biggest factor this offseason will probably be not Michael Beasley, but Bradley Beal. Like, wherever Bradley Beal goes, and there's been like talks like, oh, Milwaukee should trade Middleton for him.
That's if he wants to stay, though. That's if he wants to stay. Like, I mean,
like, it could be if they're going to offer him the Supermax. He said he'd stay.
Yeah, if he stays, and more of nothing.
I mean, I'd take the $250.
I hope he would like to get out of there and, you know, mix it up. Hopefully in Miami. You know what I'm saying? But if it's not Miami, it could be anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
He should go to the Knicks.
Anywhere that's winning. Yeah, like the Knicks. Like, if it's the Knicks, they like if he were to leave the Wizards and go to the Knicks, to me, I think somebody else has to be there with them to like solidify it. You know what I'm saying?
They got to trade Randall for him.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it would have to be another trade to get like 2 superstars and kind of like a skeleton roster that they can fill out really fast type of thing.
Could be him, RJ, Cam. There's not too many free agents that's just out there. You get what I'm saying?
There's a couple, but not like enough. Yeah, it's seems a lot shorter. PJ Tucker's now out there. Philly, I heard, is going to go hard after him.
Miami ain't going to pick him back up?
Well, no, he didn't pick up his option.
Oh, so there must be more money out there then.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently, a lot of people like what he's been doing since last year. So now it's just like PJ Tucker land, and they're saying he might be spending his time in Philly.
So what's on the horizon for Miami?
I just think,
are you guys just hoping on Bradley Beal? Because I think the Kyle Lowry experiment failed miserably.
I mean, we're stuck with him for a few years, so we'll see what happens. Good guy, but
yeah, y'all still owe him what, $60 million?
I think they just wanted to have like a current, like somebody that won the NBA champion like pretty recently. That's the only thing I could think of. But to me, I just was like, man, there's a lot. What
y'all gonna do with Duncan Robinson?
He's gonna be a part of a trade package, I believe, because Max Strus can hit almost just as much.
They're gonna have to pay that nigga Strus more. Like I don't think he's gonna feel comfortable doing what Duncan did, and Duncan was getting paid $90 million, and he's only getting paid like $2 million.
Well, I mean, Miami will have at least something to stand on if they trade Duncan Robinson, clear cap space. You know what I'm saying? If
they gotta trade. They gotta whatchamacallit too. They gotta worry about other
Tyler Hero.
Yeah.
And he wants to start next year, so he's on some. I'm trying to start. What's going on?
What start is what?
As the two.
As the two?
Strus, you coming off bench or the three?
He don't play no D. Tyler plays no D.
I agree. Tyler won't tie the offensive player down, so you're right. This man, I mean, but I like Tyler overall though. He could definitely get a bucket and like erase a lot of mistakes by shooting, for sure. Mm-hmm. But I mean, actually, he's still a better defender than some of the players on the Heat too, though.
Yeah, I don't see no hope for the Knicks, and I honestly, as a Knicks fan, I don't want Kyrie to come over there, so he could destroy the chemistry of the team.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be exciting basketball to watch, but I don't see
Kyrie ain't even that exciting, though. Like, people keep saying this, and he's not exciting.
I'm just saying the slip and slide pull up. He's going to try it again on the Knicks.
He's too old for that. I'm sorry.
Because he's not.
I think Steph got better handles than Kyrie.
He's not going to pass the ball.
Steph got better handles, and they're more creative, and they're more fluid. They're not robotic-y. Like, listen, Steph may be, before we're all said and done, other than Michael Jordan, Steph may be the greatest basketball player ever. Point blank, period.
Other than Mike, right? You said, right?
Other than Mike.
Okay. As long as we have that caveat, because Mike didn't have Bugs Bunny rapping on his album. You know what I'm saying?
What?
No, I'm talking about Space Jam. Yeah, the Bugs Bunny, he had. I can't even bring up R. Kelly, but that was a good little soundtrack song.
I Believe I Can Fly.
Yeah, I mean, the man put it down. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, besides all of the the rape shit and
6 for 6 though.
Oh yeah, MJ. Like I said,
6 for 6.
MJ is the greatest, but Steph is a close 2. His shoes are ugly though, so there's that. But
can never be number one with no swagger.
Other than Steph having ugly shoes, everything else is, I think, number 2. And it's like a lot of people want to give it to LeBron, but like I said, man, Steph changed the game.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%.
And I've been able to witness it. You know what I mean? So I'm not just talking out my ass.
Stepherless. Nah, the way Steph changed the game, I'll give it to him. I don't know if he's number 2 or not, but like by the end of his career, I feel like he could comfortably possibly get there. It's just the winning trajectory still has to be there, though. He still has to like get more rings to me. I just like when people are in certain positions without it being questioned. I don't want it to be like a super close to, because anything could happen. But if he stays on this projection, this team, if Joe Lacob can lock down all these like free agents, the young guys with Steph, they come off the bench, they play well, everything just falls into place, and he gets like another ring or two. He's definitely top 2 overall ever. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, like
I'm just not gonna give it to him right now at this second, but he has the potential to lock it in to be the unquestioned number 2 player ever overall.
Listen.
Potential.
Listen. If Steph gets another ring,
potentially, yeah.
If Steph gets another ring, nobody could tell me shit.
I just think 2 rings just really just ices it out, and there's just nothing to talk about anymore. You know what I'm saying? But one
if he
ring,
gets another MVP or another Finals MVP on top of that,
but
bro.
I'm just saying, let's just say if he gets 2 back-to-back, that's a 3-peat.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what are we talking about anymore? You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Steph has 3 Finals MVP and a 3-peat.
Like,
that would be more than enough to erase KD was he the best player with KD? Does it matter? You know what I'm saying? If he won,
acting like Steph dropped off when KD came.
No, for sure.
Like I said,
but who's gonna?
KD had like 28. Steph had 27.
But forget the Steph fanfare, because we know he's good. Who's gonna challenge him next year? Like, not just him, but like the team.
Depends on where certain players go.
What do you think about?
I really don't think anybody in the Western Conference has a chance against Golden State.
So Memphis going home early.
Yeah, I think Kuminga is going to come along. I think Wiseman is going to come back. I think Clay's going to have his feet under him. I think Draymond is going to take a little step back, just because, like, people are forgetting Draymond's coming off of a back injury. Like, they keep talking about, oh, he was playing this, that, and the third, but like, nigga, like if you don't know by now, that back is something serious. It holds your whole body up.
Nah, it's a fact. It's a fact. It does
whole body.
Does all of it.
So, like, you guys got to give him credit. Remember, he came back. He came back. They were wondering when he was going to come back. That's how bad it was, of a back injury. And I don't think he had surgery. So he may have avoided surgery. Don't be surprised if you see Draymond has a procedure during the off season.
Nah, I can see that all the way.
But I don't see anybody in the Western Conference really challenging the Golden State Warriors. Like, the Phoenix Suns aren't gonna challenge them. I don't think too many moves are gonna be made to where they can significantly make their team any much better. Chris Paul's getting a year older. I think what's the dude? Not Devin Booker, but the other guy.
Not Devin Booker, Chris Paul?
Not Chris Paul.
Mikal Bridges?
Mikal Bridges.
Yeah.
I don't really see too much more growth coming from him.
I feel like he could play better.
Maybe Cam.
Cam to me does have a little bit more upside, but more consistent player right now is Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, he's more consistent, but what I'm saying is I think this is it.
Oh, he's peaked.
Yeah, I think he's at his apex right now.
Even if they change the situation? I mean, he doesn't...
Change the situation how?
Like, I mean, let's just say he gets traded. Like, you don't think he'll grow even more, or...
I mean, maybe, but, like, he doesn't handle the ball too much.
I mean, you got Chris Paul. You know what they say.
Like...
You know what they say. Your boy,
I don't
Big
think...
Baby and all them.
I don't see Mikal Bridges being able to create his own shot.
That part. He can shoot, though. Good spot-up shooter. Good slasher to finisher, though. I think eventually he could, though, if the team featured him to do that. Not off the rip, though. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be off the rip. It would be, like, literally on some, like, OKC Thunder shit.
But I saw the potential growth in James Harden. I don't see the growth in him.
Well,
he can surprise me, I guess, but, like, I really don't see the growth.
That I can agree, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, the game is a lot more, three-dimensional, which means, you definitely got to dribble, pass, and shoot. So we'll see.
Dribble, pass, shoot, and defend.
Yeah, let's see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what happens. I think these guys,
Yeah, but, like I said, nobody on the Phoenix Suns. I don't see the Grizzlies beating out the Golden State Warriors, especially with those young guys coming up. I don't see Denver, Utah, maybe the Clippers, maybe, because they have two outstanding wings, but they don't have a playmaker.
Nah, yeah, you're right. They don't have a playmaker, so there's like nobody really move the ball around, share the wealth, and like basically you have like lately it's obviously been Paul George, but before that it was Kawhi Leonard playing out of position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't see San Antonio getting significantly better. I don't see maybe Dallas. If Bradley Beal goes to Dallas, then maybe we got something.
I mean, right now they're going to be a lot better with Christian Wood, though. And they still have...
Yeah, but he can't defend at all.
Yeah, we're just talking about offense here. Buckets.
Yeah, but they need defend. They need, their defense is the problem. It's not scoring points.
That's what they said about the Clippers, and the problem was nobody over there could drop a bucket when needed.
I mean, I guess, but everybody on that team is role players except Paul George and Kawhi.
No, I agree with that.
On the East now, if you're talking about the East, could you imagine if Bradley Beal went to Charlotte?
Sheesh. That would be
with LaMelo and Bridges.
That would be pretty. Actually, I can see that actually almost happening. But
could you see him going to Charlotte, bro? That team would be nuts. That would be the crazy. That would be my new favorite team.
Oh yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that.
I'm already a LaMelo fan.
I mean, LaMelo is one of the top players in the top young players.
Top young players. He got the best commercials right now.
Yeah, he's gonna be
that Hulu commercial's fire.
He stays healthy, has a good playoff run. None of that will go away. It's only gonna get tripled or better. I promise you. Oh,
my girl wanted me to mention this. Why doesn't anybody mention or say that LeBron is just as good as MJ is at picking talent for these teams? Why isn't anybody saying that?
He's not. Well, he's not good anymore at all. I'm doing that.
He never was good.
Pat Riley was.
Exactly. But look at these teams now. Look what he did to Cleveland.
I mean, really what he did to the Lakers too, but at the same time, you at least got a ring out of those situations. Cleveland,
him and MJ are on the same level right now when it comes to these team building stuff.
I'll say this. He had to do one on the fly with after Kyrie left. Even though what's the name was there, Dan Gilbert and
But he was trying to trade. He was trying to trade Kyrie for Chris Paul.
I think he was going to try something different. But that was, like I said, that was still more on the fly after Kyrie found out, and he was like, nah, fuck that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now it's on the fly where most people usually don't find out, and, you know, LeBron gets to do what the GM thing, you know what I'm saying?
Which he's not good at.
Overall, no, not really. I would just say I didn't like him moving Wiggins because I thought Wiggins could have started doing this a little bit earlier, what he did for the Warriors. But at the same time, they still got a ring. And Cleveland, like I said, needed a ring. Out of all the franchises that needed a ring, Cleveland needed a ring, bro. Out of comparison, I mean, shit, at least you can remember that Pat Riley at least got, you know, Phil Jackson at least got a ring over there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're speaking on the Knicks. I'm just saying. So, like, yeah, I can't remember when the Cavs ever won one without LeBron.
Me neither. I mean, yeah, he won that one.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, that franchise needed it. Lakers was just...
Okay, hey, okay. Never asked you this, but...
What's up?
Do you count the bubble? The bubble chip?
I mean, you still had to lace up. It was just, to me...
Do you count? I don't count the bubble chip.
I'll count it, but, like, there's... I still squint at it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I count it, but I still squint at it a little bit.
Yeah, I don't count the bubble chip at all.
Even if the Heat would have won that bubble chip or whatever.
Same thing.
I still would have been squinting at it and just been like looking at it a little bit. Even like, and I mean, I am a Lakers fan, but I'm just saying, like, I squint at it a little bit just because the role players had an easier time, just because role players usually don't play as well against like the away team, or even when the home team is playing and, you know, they're not playing as well and then you're getting booed by your own home crowd. That's a little bit different. But when you have like the sound of just cheering 90 times out of 10,
yeah,
it's just like, all right.
There was no travel. I mean, shit, the Clippers didn't even want to be there. The NBA kind of forced their hand to be there.
No, yeah, they need to get that check.
So, like, I don't know, man. I don't really. So, like, that's also a part of the reason why I rate Steph Curry ahead of LeBron, is because, like, honestly, LeBron got 3 chips, 3 and 9. And then, like, this is supposed to be LeBron's era, right? Him being the face of the NBA, this, that, and the third. I'd like to make the case that Steph Curry has actually been the face of the NBA since about 2016.
Well, to be fair, though, well, you're right, but to be fair, LeBron wasn't supposed to be being the face that early. It was supposed to be Kobe and then LeBron, which it was, but Kobe had to exit out earlier from that, like, elder statesman, that look, because of the whole, you know, the Colorado case.
Yeah.
So when you had the Colorado case going on, kind of like took him out of place. And I watched it happen too. I was like, damn, next thing you know, I just hear about LeBron this, LeBron that. Like, literally after he, you know, I think he even did the press conference and everything. It was like LeBron this, LeBron that, LeBron. But Kobe still like pulled back his shine coming back. But, you know, it just, we're talking about like the NBA actually backing you up to be like the face.
So then you're saying the LeBron era really was like what, the last 10 years?
Yeah, it was about 10 years.
Last 10. Okay, then.
No, I'm just saying, yeah, people.
So Steph Curry won all his chips in the last 10 years.
No, shit, the Spurs even got one, right? Spurs got a few out of his whole 10-year run and things like that. So, like, yeah, other people still got his, but LeBron is still up there. It's not like I said, he still has time. He's going to be breaking records left and right. And I feel like just the public's going to eventually have to deal with that, you know what I'm saying? But I just think, like, he's about to beat Kareem's record. If he can somehow scrape another ring off, too.
Do you think he's going to scrape another ring off? Legit.
The way the team...
Do you legit think he's going to get another ring?
I think the way the Lakers, like, structure is right now with the roster... I think they're backed in the corner, so I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I don't honestly think LeBron has a good chance, but
like he needs a good roster that can shoot. Like he don't need like a big three Heat type of shit, but like he needs a lot of really good players. You know what I'm saying? Like he almost needs like a Heat of this generation. You know what I'm saying? This generation Heat with Duncan Robinson and those type of shooters. And you know what I'm saying? Like that like can defend.
Him and AD isn't enough. I think the only
not anymore. Not the way these teams are. Not the way the Clippers are. Not the way the Warriors are.
I don't think Brooklyn has a shot. The only people that really has a legit shot in the East, maybe be the Bucks.
I'm not going to write off Brooklyn just because if Ben Simmons plays at a well
even
level.
If Ben Simmons plays, it's him and KD. I don't think Kyrie's going to be there. If Kyrie's there, I still don't like. Golden State has way too many scorers.
That part too, though.
They can keep Ben Simmons out of the paint. And he's not shoot. We know he's not shooting.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just looking at, the way the league is, the way how teams play. I just don't see a team barring injury. Like injury, throw everything out the water. Throw everything out the door. I mean, but like, I just don't see. As presently constructed, unless some major moves are made. Like, I'm talking about major moves. Major, like, the Clippers would have to... The Clippers... I don't even know.
The Clips.
Like, Charlotte would have to pick up Paul George or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. But
Jokic gets traded to Utah for Rudy Gobert and a bunch of picks.
Speaking of which, like
that was Jokic and Donovan Mitchell and you know what I mean, like shit like that.
Well, the Suns not gonna. It doesn't look like the Suns are gonna keep Ayton, so that's a whole nother.
Jokic for Ayton and a bunch of picks.
Well, I don't know if they're going to get rid of Jokic after being MVP that many times, and I've been in that town. They're going to ride with Jokic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Jokic ain't leaving, but like I'm just thinking of like possibilities or like fucking
LeBron
potential ways that a team could beat the Warriors, right? And I really, like I said, I don't see another team in the league right now that has the pieces that could contend with the Warriors' offensive output, and with that output, they're still top 5 defense. So like they're top 5 defense, top 5 offense.
And honestly, which was crazy is like there was definitely a lot of spurts that the Warriors looked like they were number 1 on defense, stat wise too. By the end of the game, so it was pretty interesting matchup. Honestly, I mean the Celtics needs to get deeper and get like honestly like some type of other big with JaVale off the bench just to give the energy, or vice versa or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Like maybe if Bradley goes to the Celtics or something like that, but
Bradley to the Celtics, that could maybe three team trade, lots of picks from Boston and Marcus Smart.
Yeah, like there isn't too many people out there that's gonna. Excuse me. There isn't too many people out there that's gonna move the needle like that. So like, I think
not this offseason.
I think we'll be looking at the Golden State Warriors going back to back.
Dubs.
Yeah,
with the double. I can see it.
And then the third year, I don't know.
I can see that.
Those deep playoff runs on those old guys' body, that might be tough. They might have to take a back seat to Moody and
Cricky knees by another year or two.
Yeah, it might be Moody and Kuminga's team and Jordan Poole's team. You know what I mean? More so than Steph and them.
Yeah. I think you're right though. I think it could definitely go down that way. It just, I mean, if I had to put my money on the Warriors taking it again,
I really don't see anybody that could compete with them.
Not if they keep everybody. If they don't, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? If they don't keep everybody, then it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what I mean. I feel as though that Kuminga could comfortably move into the Andrew Wiggins spot.
Yeah, but I still would try to keep Andrew Wiggins just for one more year. Just to keep everything like, you know.
And I feel as though Moody could comfortably move into Jordan Poole's spot, but if they got to get rid of him.
But it's tough to say just because Andrew Wiggins did have like average a double-double in the finals. You know what I'm saying? He was the second best player stat-wise in the finals. So like that part.
I mean, he was the second best player, but the gulf between him and Steph was like.
Oh, of course. I'm just saying, but like he still had 19 and 12 in the last game. That's still not bad.
Yeah, he balled out.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's still honorable. That's still putting down your, you know, and it's no shame to play the pivot role right now. He's doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be prolific in your role.
Yeah.
Sometimes this is what it is, and he bought in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shit. Any other news you want to talk about?
Shit, man. Nah, I think I'm.
There was that Elon Musk shit.
Oh yeah, you did talk about that.
His kid. I think his kid. I don't know if his kid is getting a sex change, or they just changed their adjectives. But one of his kids that just turned 18, like, she doesn't want anything to do with him. She changed her name to her mom's name, type of vibe.
Elon drama.
Yeah, so you know, money can't buy everything. You know what I mean? That's kind of tough.
No. He could have another kid. He'll be all right.
I mean, he has 5 kids with that one chick, and then he got 2 other kids. So he got 7 kids out here.
He's about to do. He's about to do boozy numbers or NBA YoungBoy numbers. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame him though. I mean, honestly, with that bankroll, like, really doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's
you know
200 something plus mil, bro. Bill, that's nuts.
Yeah, like, does it really matter after like a certain amount of number? Like after you have billions, it's like. He'll be all right. He's not like he's not gonna lose that much sleep. He's just like but you know what I mean. This is one of those things that he'll just be able to snap back into, and that's what I think. Maybe, but it isn't. It doesn't mean life is perfect or anything like that. It does show you life isn't perfect, but at the same time, I just feel like he'll have a good bounce back. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff going on. I think we're going to save some of the other things we want to talk about for the next show. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 12.
Appreciate the tap in.
The Lightly Seasoned Podcast. You guys have a good one.
Peace.